الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على خاتم النبيين وسيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وعلى من سار على نهجه إلى يوم الدين. Alhamdulillah, now we are studying the book of trade, and last week we finished the conditions of both types, trade conditions and conditions in the contract, and we explained the difference between these two types of conditions. Today, inshallah, we'll start a new chapter talking about when is the person is allowed to use or to sell what he bought. Because some people, they think the minute that you make the contract, then you can sell it right away. While there are certain rules that would like to learn it, inshallah, tonight. There's warning that you cannot sell whatever you buy till you get it and you have it in your place, if it was something that carried. Right? And inshallah will explain this in detail after we hear our reader, Sheikh Hussein bin Nabi, mashallah, who know how to say na'am in Arabic with his head. طيب تفضل يا حسين. جزاك الله.
Chapter 5. Disposal of a purchased commodity before receipt and rescinding of bargain. In this chapter, Allah willing, we will deal with the rulings on the lawful disposal of a purchased commodity before receiving it. We will also illustrate how the bargain is legally concluded and when it becomes illegal. One should be aware that it is invalid to sell a purchased commodity before receiving it, whether it is measured, weighed, counted, or measured by cubits, as the Imams agree.
When he said Imams, you know that the four Imams, طيب, Abu Hanifa, Abu Shafi'i, Ahmad al-Malik, Ahmad bin Hanbal. Now,
the same ruling applies to other kinds of commodities according to the preponderant view of the Muslim scholars. May Allah have mercy on them. For the Prophet ﷺ said, "He who buys a foodstuff should not sell it until he has received it with exact full measure." Related to Al-Bukhari and Muslim.
طيب, بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسوله. As we see now, that if a person buy anything with measure, then he should get it with a full measure. He should get it with full measurement. And he have it, or he has it. And then he can deal with it. Right? There is two ways of dealing with whatever you got. Either that you want to resell it again, or you want to give it to as gift. Right? Here is some difference between ulama, but the right opinion that they think that you get it, okay, or you sign contract. If you want to sell it, you cannot sell it till you have full receipt of what you bought. But if you want to give it as a gift, then it's okay even you didn't receive it. Here I would like to, go to give more explanation. This is what they call it التصرف في المبيع. التصرف العربي التصرف في المبيع. معنى تصرف, that means he deal with it in any way that he like. Either he sell it, he give it, he use it. Fine. This is the first issue. Based on the hadith that was mentioned. The hadith said, من اشترى مكيلا. And this what was mentioned. He who buys food, should not sell it until he has received it in exact measure. That means he should receive it all together. Now we have contracts here. I sign contract to buy food, for example, from the traders. And then, when I sign the contract, he said that he will send it to me, I mean from his, storage, for example, to my place after 3 days. So now we signed the contract. I gave him the money. But did I receive the food? Not yet. Where is it? There, with him. So this is the point here. I didn't receive it yet. Till I get it in my place, in my storage, I cannot sell it. So this is the point. Right, how about the contract? Is the contract valid or not? The contract by itself is valid. The contract that I signed to buy this stuff is valid. Right? Now it's mine. And he received his money. But till this point, I cannot sell it. Why? Because it's not under my custody. And I don't know, it's there, I don't know what happened to it. صح ولا لا? Maybe there's something happened in the storage of this businessman or trader. So how can I sell something that's not under my custody? When I receive it in full measurement, that means depend on the contract that we have. And this is similar to what they do now, for example, for cars or some stuff. Some people, they go and say, for example, to Ibrahim, he's, mashallah, big businessman, he has a lot of money, and he said, Ibrahim, I want to buy a car or buy computer or buy whatever stuff, and then he will buy it, for example, and then I sign contract with him. Right? But this kind of transaction is not right. Why? Because it's a kind of riba. In fact, he's not interested to buy, but he bought it for what reason? Because I came and they told him to buy it for me. And there's two problems. First of all, that he may sell something that he doesn't own. And remember this, we consider it as one of the major conditions that said when the Prophet ﷺ said لحكيم ibn Huzam, what did he say? لا تبع ما ليس لك. لا تبع ما ليس. Don't sell that which is not yours. It's not yours. So this is the other condition. Second, if he said, okay, it's mine, I'll buy it for you. And he buy it. He said, okay, I'll buy it, or I call the company and I give him the money and we have the contract. Okay, where is the car? Okay, the car is there. Okay, where is the stuff? For example, food or whatever, cement, or it's there. Then how come you sell it to me? While you don't, even you have it, it's yours, yes, but it's not under your custody. Now, so this kind, as I said, this is not right. This is not right, based in this hadith. Right? If I did it in a different way, that means to gift it. And the term gift it, it's okay. And the dalil where? The dalil that the Prophet ﷺ, he was giving camel from Umar radiallahu anhu. Or he bought it from Umar radiallahu anhu. The camel. And he gave it as gift. Alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullah. And he first time. And he, you can close your number. And he gave it as gift to Abdullah ibn Umar. He gave it to Abdullah ibn Umar before he received it and take it from Umar رضي الله عنه. طيب. طيب. So this is a point that we would like to. طيب. يقول الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم فلا يبيعه حتى يقبضه. This is the hadith. فلا يبيعه حتى يقبضه. That means he should not sell it till he receive it and have full process in the commodity that he bought. نعم. نعم.
In another narration it reads, until he has received it.
نعم.
In Muslim narration it states, until he has weighed it.
نعم. He weighed it. Why? To make sure that he took the full measurement. Okay? نعم.
Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, said, I consider that the same ruling of foodstuffs is applied to all types of sales.
طيب هنا because some people they will say, okay, what the Prophet ﷺ said is only related to foodstuff only, because the hadith said, okay, about food. But here Ibn Abbas explained this apply to anything else. But what the Prophet ﷺ gave like an example, because this is most people at that time, most of the things that they buy or they sell, what is it? Food. They don't have cars or many of these equipment that we have these days. Now. Now, continue.
This ruling is directly stated in the Sunnah, prophetic tradition.
No.
Imam Ahmad related that the Prophet ﷺ said, when you buy something, you should not sell it until you have completely received it. Moreover, Abu Dawood related, the Messenger of Allah ﷺ forbade selling the goods where they are bought until the tradesman takes them to their houses.
So I think the issue is clear, right? Is it clear? Huh? Right. So be careful. Be careful when you buy something, or you go to the one that you want to buy from him. He will say that, okay, I will sell. And this is the problem now. Some businessmen, they are doing this. They don't have the commodity. They will just give you word. And then after you pay the money and you make the contract, they go and they get it. Okay, which is not right here. And here also, why? To protect the rights of the buyer. Okay, maybe you pay the money and everything and sign the contract, and then he cannot get it from them, right or not? And then he said, well, we have something similar. This is what they do. Okay, and you are under pressure. And you are in need, so it's okay. So this is why they should not, sell anything till they receive it. Now,
Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah and his student Ibn al-Qayyim, Allah have mercy on them, stated,
now,
the cause behind prohibiting the buyer to sell a commodity until he has completely received it is the second buyer's inability to receive the commodity. The original seller may not deliver the commodity to the first buyer.
yeah, this could happen. Maybe there are disputes between them. Okay, maybe the commodity was for any reason destroyed, either by rain, by anything else. It was stolen. So this is the point here. He may not be able to give you what he promised you. He took your money. But he may not be able to give it the product. Why? Because he didn't receive it. Now,
the original seller may not deliver the commodity to the first buyer, especially when the former sees the expected profit of the buyer after selling the same commodity to another person. In this case, the original seller may do his best to cancel the deal, whether through rescinding or swindling. This ruling is further confirmed by the prophetic prohibition of making profit through what is not in one's possession.
yeah, this is a point that we said, that violation for what? One of the main conditions for transaction, that you should not sell that which is not yours, This is very important, brothers. The problem now, some people, they sell something that it's not theirs. It's not there. They don't. Okay, they sell it, and then they come and try to fix the situation. Now,
accordingly, Muslims must adhere to the aforementioned transactional legal rulings. When a Muslim buys a commodity, he is not permitted to sell it until he has fully received it. However, many people are negligent in this regard, as they buy goods and sell them before they receive them, or when they receive only part of them, and this is not a legal receipt of the goods. For example, a buyer may count sacks, parcels, or boxes in the store of the seller, and then sell them to another person, which is not considered a legal receipt of the goods that enables the buyer to sell them. Some may ask, what is then the legal receipt that enables the buyer to have disposal of the purchased commodity? The answer is that the legal receipt of goods differs according to their kind. Every kind has its own valid receipt. If the goods are measured, weighed, counted, or measured by cubids, their valid receipt must be through measuring, weighing, counting, or measuring by cubit respectively, provided the goods are taken to a place belonging to the buyer. If the goods are clothes, animals, cars, or the like, their valid receipt is fulfilled by taking them to a place belonging to the buyer.
right. Now, in case for cars, sometimes what they do, like some car in car business, and banks are doing this, they said, yes, we have the car. How? It's in our custody. How? He said, we have the paper. What they call it, this paper for? Huh?
Receipt invoice.
Yeah. No, for the car title. Have
Registration.
the registration, like istimar, okay? Or they call it the custom, the custom, yeah, the custom card or anything. That this is, no one can, deal with this card. I mean, that means if I take the card from Ibrahim can do nothing with it. That means same like I have it in my place. Right. Is this right or not? There is difference between ulama about this. Okay? Some banks, they are doing this. You go to buy a car, they said, okay, I will buy this car, just give us the number, registration number and everything, and then when you agree with them, they will buy the car from the car company, right? And then they said we receive this istimar. It's in our custody. It's ours. Look, it's here. Okay. Is this right or not? There is difference. We need to investigate this matter more. We need more investigation. But if they have no sign that they get anything from the car, there is no question that it's not in their custody. Why? Because if this paper was not with them, that means maybe the original seller, he may sell it to somebody else. Or maybe do any other action regarding this car. So, the right is they should have the car in their place. This is the right thing. But if this apply in the car itself or whatever, maybe the title of the car was there, paper. If it's there, that's enough or not. This is something that we need maybe to discuss. Because some scholars, they don't approve this. And they think there is some trick in doing this. Because those people or these banks, they don't have in fact these cars or they don't own it from the beginning. All what they do, it's like playing, like in the back, you see, door to get out or away of riba. So they give finance, they finance your sale or your buying while they don't own this car, which is in fact riba. Why? Because you give there, it costs about 100,000 riyal, and you come to the bank and said, okay, I will take from you 120,000 riyal. Okay, this 20,000 riyal is riba. Okay. Inshallah, we'll check this, inshallah, because it needs a lot. I didn't find the time to investigate this matter now.
Just sometimes, like before the transaction, if there is special cases where they want something special to be fabricated or made especially for that one customer, and they pay them like 20%, and they said that the remaining 80% would be paid to you once we receive the goods.
Yeah.
That kind of transaction is
Yes, it's coming. It's coming. There is a special part about when you have contract for somebody to do something special for you. Okay, like clothes. Okay, you come to the clothes, for example, and you tell him that I want to, to provide me with the clothes, and they give you 10% of the price or even the whole price. Now it's okay because now this is contract. Okay. But the question is now, if you are an owner of shop and you came to Muhammad, for example, and you said to him, okay, will you, this for me, I need 6 suits from you, and you give him part of the price, and he said, okay, I will give it inshallah after 15 days. Now, can you sell this soap that you didn't receive to others? No, you can't. This is different. Right? No.
Yet, if what is purchased cannot be moved to deliver, such as houses, land, or fruit on trees, its valid receipt is fulfilled by handing it over to the buyer to be at his disposal as its new owner. The valid receipt of a house...
How, for example, you have a land. How come I take the land to my home? Right? You will not be able, okay? But I should go with Hussein, for example, he's selling this land. And he said, yes, this is the land, okay? And this is the certificate of the ownership of the land. Now the land in your custody. This is valid, okay? Something big thing for the farm or anything like that. Now, something that cannot be moved, cannot be moved. Now,
the valid receipt of a house or the like is fulfilled by giving its key to the buyer and handing him over the property as the new owner.
Now, you come, for example, to a house. How can you be able to deal with this house, to enter, to put your stuff, when he give you what? The key, right? Right. If I buy, for example, from Siraj a house, and he didn't give me the keys, and he said, okay, I'll give you the keys maybe next month. Now this house is not under my custody. Why? Because he can enter at any time, he can use it at any time. I cannot go there. Even I have the contract still in his custody. Right. Can I sell it? No, I can't. Because he didn't get it. So the way that you have this in your custody is different, depends on what? Depends on the kind of commodity. Right? No. No.
I think we need the reason of this because if the roots are closed, animal, cars, or the like, the valid receipt is for the next taking this. I think we need...
What is that? Will you read it? Yeah. Okay. Read it again, معلش.
If the goods are clothes, animals, cars, or the like, their valid receipt is fulfilled by taking them to a place belonging to the buyer.
Yeah. See, so cars you should take it to your place, your garage. Okay? And this is a point that I would like to investigate because as I said, there is difference between, there's a lot of argument about this. A lot of argument about, is it enough just to get the paper or will they have to get the car to their place? Okay? Because unfortunately now, some banks, they show you that they have it. They said, we own it. Okay, how did you own it? They said, okay, we pay the money and we get the estimara or the paper. But in fact, when you go to the showroom, you will find, after you sign everything with them, you will get the paper from there. But they tell you again, okay, yes, but we send one of our employee there to represent us. So this is the argument that, I don't like to give you a final, answer for this till I investigate it to see different views for this, inshallah. And remind Mr. Ibrahim, just remind about this. I didn't find the time to study this matter because it's really complicated. So please send me an email, inshallah, next Wednesday I'll explain it.
We have already mentioned some hadith prohibiting a Muslim to sell goods if he has not validly and fully received them from the seller. This ruling serves the interests of both the buyer and the seller and prevents controversies and disputes resulting from the remittances of the buyer and seller when the former receives the goods from the latter, or when the buyer neither checks the commodity nor verifies its quality and specifications before exempting the seller from liability. A Muslim must adhere to and carry out the aforementioned ruling while concluding business deals.
Right, here related to something which is in trees, there is also different rules. Depends on this, what they call it, bay' al-araya. Okay, bay' al-araya. I mean araya here, it's not mean naked. No, it means something which is in the trees, like selling dates on the tree. Is it okay or not? There is exception for certain kind of fruits, because you don't wait till you get it, and because this, time is very important here. Okay, time is very important. That means if you get it out from there, it may not be, especially at that time they don't have refrigerator to preserve it. It may not be safe. That means it will be destroyed. So can I sell it just while it's there or not? This is also another, inshallah, topic it's come by itself now.
However, many people today are remiss in the valid receipt of the goods they purchase, committing what has been prohibited by the Prophet ﷺ. And thus they suffer controversies and disputes. Sometimes the buyer regrets when he discovers the actual specifications of the goods after concluding the deal, and then he cannot cancel the deal except through long arguments and disputes. Whoever violates the orders of the Prophet ﷺ must regret and suffer consequences in the end.
Right. Always, my dear brothers, this is a very important note that the Shaykh put here. Always, the real success, and to be always in the safe side, always follow the teaching and instruction of the Sharia. And don't follow just your own, judgment. Like, I'll give you one example. It's happened a lot. Right, now Muhammad, for example, he came to me. And he said, I need 5,000 riyal. Okay, as he want to borrow 5,000 riyal. I said, okay, no problem, inshallah. Tomorrow I'll give it to you. When I came to give it to him, I said, okay, Muhammad, write for me document, say that you received from me 5,000 riyal. He said, yes.
Don't believe me.
Yeah, don't believe me. You don't trust me. We all, for all this time, and you don't know me. Okay, I know you. But I should follow what? Because Allah Azza wa Jal subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the longest ayah in the Quran, في سورة البقرة, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا تداينتم بدين إلى أجل مسمى فاكتبوه. This is أمر, command. طيب, what do you mean اكتبوه? Write it down. طيب, besides, you have witnesses. on this. Now some people, especially between relatives, when they do this, I'm sure some of you went through this, right or not? You see, we say no. No. You should tell him, please to write. Allah says, وَلَا تَسْأَمُوا أَن تَكْتُبُوهُ صَغِيرًا أَوْ كَبِيرًا إِلَى أَجَلِهِ. Right? Don't you get bored, okay, or hesitate to write it down, even if it was small, little, صغير. إلى أجل. Maybe they will do this. Why we should do it? Okay, brother, I trust you. If I don't trust you, I will not give me my money. Right? But I have also to apply the Sharia in my life. And the Sharia telling me that I have to write it down. And subhanallah. And you find people, if you did not apply the Sharia in certain issue or situation, you will be sometimes in a position that you regret. Like this, and then he didn't return it to you. What can you do? Okay? Or this man passed away. Especially if the man is a lot. Okay? Or you wrote the land in his name. Or any of these things. And then you lose your rights. Why? Because you didn't apply, the Sharia in your life. So Sharia was here, Allah Azza wa Jal, when He put this legislation. For whom? For our own benefit. To regulate our life. So we deal in the light. And this also, that will keep and protect the relation in the community. Because after a while, this man, there is no document, what he will run away, he will say, if I see me, he will not say salam, he will go another street. And now I feel that he is bad person. And then they talk about him. So a lot of problems start from very small point. But if you write it down, subhanallah, Allah will protect your right. Allah Azza wa Jalla will protect your right. Why? Because you follow the command of Allah Azza wa Jalla. So brothers, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate if you give somebody anything to document it. Document it. And don't let our emotion will affect our decision. Because we are slaves of Allah Azza wa Jalla. And then we should apply the teaching of Allah, the command of Allah in our life. Now,
among the transactional acts that have been stressed and highly recommended by the Prophet ﷺ is that either of the contractual parties is to rescind the bargain if he regrets concluding the sale, does not need the commodity anymore, or is unable to pay its price. He ﷺ said, whoever accepts the demand of a Muslim to rescind the bargain, Allah will rescind his faults on the day of resurrection. Rescinding the bargain means to cancel it, giving each of the seller and buyer his due right.
You make the contract, right? You pay the money. But then you didn't get what you paid for. Then you said what you get your, You should get your money back. Because it was not in your, was not delivered in your place now.
Among the duties of a Muslim towards his fellow Muslim brother is to agree to rescind the bargain when the latter needs that urgently. This is a sign of gentleness and good treatment, as well as one of the requirements of brotherliness and fellowship in Islam.
Right. We have time to start the riba, or we leave it for next week? How many?
2-3 more minutes.
Right. Let's say just give very quick introduction about riba. Riba from the word raba, and raba means to increase. طيب, to increase. Raba. And from this tarbiyah, rabba, tarbiyah, education. Rabba, that means he gets, take care until he growing. Right? And the riba, from this called Rab. Rab means the one who make you increase, who taking care of you, subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's it. So Rab. Right? The word riba in business, which is haram, of two kinds. Riba al-fadl wa riba al-nasi'a, they call it. Riba al-fadl wa riba al-nasi'a. Riba al-fadl is to get something at the same time, or for the same kind, but you get some more. And this is why if they were from the same type, it should not be, two things from the same type, you should get it equally. Like dates. Dates of the same kind. So I cannot give you 10 kilo of dates in exchange of 20 kilo of dates. This is raba fadl. That means for the same thing, you have two things from the same nature, but instead of giving me equal, you get more from this. This is what kind of, like ذهب. الذهب بالذهب. طيب, gold. No matter if it was made or, of any kind. As long as it's from the same nature, gold, you said this I have old gold, I will give it to you, you give me new gold, but there is difference in the weight. Then this is considered as riba fadl, ziyada. Riba fadl means ziyada. Or riba nasi'a. And nasi'a, that means depending on time. Like for example, I take from you 100 riyal today, I'll return it to you next week or next month, 110. This called riba nasi'a. Why? Because here you depend or count on the time. So the factor of the time here. Right? Anyway, this inshallah we'll talk about it in detail next week. And the riba, my dear brothers, one of the dangerous things, because Allah Azza wa Jal did not declare war in the Quran against anything like in riba. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وذروا ما بقي من الربا إن كنتم مؤمنين فإن لم تفعلوا فأذنوا بحرب من الله ورسوله وأن تبتم فلكم رؤوس أموالكم لا تظلمون ولا تظلمون. طيب, الآية said يا أيها الذين آمنوا, اسم سورة البقرة, يا أيها الذين آمنوا, calling whom? The believers. And always you find in the Quran address, when give any command, address the believer, because he is talking to your faith, to your belief in Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah does not address any person. Allah Azza wa Jal in the Quran, you note that he address different type of people. Ya ayyuhan nas. طيب, يا أيها الناس, يا أيها الذين كفروا. طيب, but he doesn't say يا أيها الذين كفروا لا تأكلوا الربا. He's already disbeliever. Or يا أيها الذين كفروا أقيموا الصلاة. He's already disbeliever. Allah Azza wa Jal is calling your faith. This is a point here. So, يا أيها طيب. فإن لم تفعلوا فذروا ما بقي من الربا إن كنتم مؤمنين. Then you should leave whatever left of riba from Jahiliyyah before. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Continue with that. So Allah Azza wa Jal said in the second ayah, طيب, فإن لم تفعلوا, if you didn't do this, if you didn't stop taking riba, فأذنوا, أذن من أذان. أذان means warning and means call. فأذنوا. طيب. It's like announcement. This is announcement and warning. طيب. فأذنوا بحرب من الله ورسوله. War. Subhanallah. War from whom? From Allah. Allah did not mention in the Quran that He is in war with anybody except the one who are taking riba. Another hadith, it says that riba is for a different type. Riba is different type. The lowest type is like when the one who's doing, fahisha to his mother. لا حول ولا قوة. That means he has relation with his mother. Can anybody imagine that he do this with his mother? This is the lowest, the easiest type. And the Prophet ﷺ warned us that in the end of the time, like this time maybe, يأتي زمان على الناس يأكل الناس الربا. Many people will deal with. ومن لم يصبه أصابه ولو غبار. Even the one who doesn't take it, he will be touched, even by the smoke of this river. لا حول ولا قوة. Or the dust. And all we are. But he said, are we? Will be question about this. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, لا يكلف الله نفسا. As long as you try your best to get away, if there's something happening beyond your control or your willing. Like nowadays now, all of us, we cannot keep our money at home. Right or not? We keep it where? And all banks dealing with riba. But this is something which is beyond our. This is maybe explained hadith subhanallah with the Prophet ﷺ, that at that time even the one who doesn't use the riba, he will be touched. The dust of riba will touch him. Will come. Maybe inshallah we'll meet next week for our Arabic class. Inshallah we'll start after. Any question? Huh? Yes. Again, Ya Jawi. Raise your voice.
If you are giving a very small amount,
yes.
say around 10 riyal, 20 riyal, or 50 riyal,
yes.
Even that has to be written down.
Exactly. Yeah. If written down, you mean? Yeah. Yes.
And written down means you have to take a signature or is it just...
Yeah, just sign it to you. If something which is very, that means you don't care about it if you lose it. That means you put in your mind, in your heart, that if he returned it, it's okay. If he didn't, it's okay. Okay? But if you are looking that this one return, you should write it down.
Plain sheet.
Because sometimes you need to help a person. If you know that he's poor, he's needy, and he comes to you and he said he doesn't like to beg. He said, well, give me, please help me. No. He would say, please give me something, I will return it to you. And you know that he will not return it. You can't realize what this is.
For example, one of my friends, he's buying something in the market.
Yes.
He's falling short of, say, 20 riyal or 30 riyal. He's not buying at the moment.
Yes.
He may be having, say, the amount of the material is 100 riyal. He's
No.
having 70 riyal. He's saying, if you give 30 riyal, I'll return it back.
Yes.
So now they're helping him 30 riyal, but at that time, he write it down and say,
Yes. If you are thinking to return it, then write it down, give me receipt.
if you're ready to forgive,
But if you want to forgive, in your mind, in your heart, you said, well, this skin had it. Okay, I just leave it for him. If you return it, it's okay. If he didn't, and I take it as a gift. خلاص? جزاكم الله خير. نعم. Yes.
we have version of selling vegetables from the country. their farm, when they're making a farm, vegetable field.
Yes.
Example, potato. They put farm, there's potato. The paddy, wire will come to the paddy.
Yes.
And mark the area, that means the size of this stone. This area I will buy.
Yes.
Of course, certain amount he will open it. But he doesn't know how much kilo of potatoes under the soil. But in the way they are dealing. So it is allowed.
No, it should be. There is difference, you see, depends on what the kind of the agriculture product. Okay? The ulama, they have many details. We cannot cover it in this book. Because this book gives you only the general guideline, the basic. But if you go in book of fiqh, you see, they talk about everything in detail. Okay? Like something, like fruit that you don't see it. Like potato, it's underground. Like carrot, for example, underground, you didn't know. Maybe I buy this and then when I get it at the time, I buy the carrot like this. Okay? So there's different, but inshallah I'll give you the answer next week. Right?